Commish Radio Show. Back again for another Saturday as I was tripping out, young strip, man. How'd you like that, man, when I was tossing my hair, man?
Oh, that was pretty cool, man. You know, you got to make sure it's right.
I know. It's all wild, man. It's all wild. This is what we're doing on the Commish Radio Show this week. You got that camera angle over you, Jose? You want to get me on there? Yeah. No, get us both on there, man. There you go. Well, you know, that's going to be all twisted up now. They're going to ask you to rotate your device and all that. That's the deal when you have all this kind of technology around. Right. You know, and this is what we got going on. Jose, I called you him, I think. Yeah, my mistake, brother. No, we all don't look alike.
You sure don't.
No.
That's what they say.
So, you know, that's going to be some of the, you know, stuff I'm going to bring when we talking next week, May 12th.
Wow.
May 12th, Mesquite.
Yes.
NAACP.
Hey,
that's
yes,
what we talking about. Yes, sir. In the house.
Yes,
in the house.
yes.
We want everybody to come out May 12th, Mesquite NAACP. Like to thank Jose Fain and Henry Brown, Honey Brown, all of y'all for inviting me out to talk to you guys.
Yes, sir. You are so welcome.
Let me get that mic over there to you, man. There we go.
You are so welcome, Mr. Grant. It's just an honor and a pleasure to be on the Fishbowl Network radio show, you know, and I've always watched you in your program, and you're doing an outstanding job for the community.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I try not to let the community down, so with your prayers and blessings, maybe I can go on a couple of years. But you know, this was the day that I was going to formally announce my retirement from radio. That's right. This was yeah. That's it. You guys didn't know that y'all were walking into an experiment, you know, because I've been a student at SMU now for the last 10 years. You know, started in 2010, and also we started in 2010, and from that particular point of time, I've achieved a master's degree from SMU, and also there's a doctorate.
Congratulations.
A doctorate. So what I've done was use this platform here on Fishbowl and the platform on WFAA to create, if you will, an experiment. You know, like doctors, they have this experiment, how they want to go ahead and do things. You know, that it's a controlled experiment. You have this variable, that kind of thing. So what I've done was created an experiment of how we could get social justice in this age through social media. Right. And through that, I've been able to do that with you guys, well, right here. And we've progressed from the amount of the Commish Radio Show in its first incarnation. Big fancy word meaning first time in the house.
Right.
But anyway, you know, when you got all these degrees, you got to roll that kind of stuff.
That's right.
Because people will be expecting you to talk.
Yeah.
So anyway, break it down, Oak Cliff style, because that's where I'm from. You know, Oak Cliff, you know, and that's my hood. We wanted to go ahead and have this deal signed up, if you will, to where we have the intersectionality of how can a brother be from the hood and still be doing all the good and beating people in Highland Park.
Come on.
You know, so we have to go ahead and have that working. How can someone talk to the masses, but yet be at the dinner table with the upper classes?
Yes.
So this is what, see, I ain't no minister.
Wow.
But you're going to steal that one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But this is what we're talking about on the Commish Radio Show. Started in a small house off of a studio in Dallas, then migrated over here to Sammy G's lovely Fishbowl Studios, where you can look out the window and see Six Flags. It's a beautiful thing. Awesome. So we did that, and then our first guest, if you remember, if you followed us from back in the day, one of our first guests was Constable Roy Williams. Constable Roy Williams, salute to him, just received his master's degree this week as well. My salute to him. And congratulations. And we also interviewed Katie Hubner, Judge Katie Hubner, interviewed all these people at that particular time, but the show hadn't taken off like it had. And then through social media, through people such as yourself, Lois, who's looking in, you guys started following me on Twitter, and Jason Whiteley started following me on Twitter, and he started liking the things I tweet. And if you follow me on Twitter, what is this Twitter handle, man? This is your cue. Don't mess it up.
Your Twitter handle?
No, mine's, man, not yours.
Oh, Ed Gray 1906.
Yeah, Ed Gray 1906. Now,
Yeah.
give them yours since you there.
Oh yeah, Young Strip 702 all across the board. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, Young Strip 702, or you can Google Young Strip #on air.
That's right, and that's how you could be listening to the show right now. You could be listening to the show on the FBRN US portal, and also through our Facebook Live portal, in which Young Strip on Air is now playing. Make sure you share that to our scene. Also, as you guys are listening on the Ed Gray page, well, you know we got that going on too. We got Ed Gray historical page, Ed Gray political page as well. So from that point, I'm going to get you caught up because you're part of this experiment. Thank you again for all your wishes, for congratulating me on completing the doctoral classes. Now, the thing we have to do now is write that long paper and do the comprehensive exam. Then it'll become official. But meanwhile, we do have all the credits necessary. So I'm a professor, if you will, because, well, I got the credits.
Right.
So now, from that particular point, here at the studios here, we brought in several people. Strip, I mean, I don't want to brag about it, but name some of the social justice people we brought in.
We brought in, what's his name? The Nation of Islam.
Yes,
We brought in
the Nation of Islam. We talk about marginalization of people. We talk about marginalization of people. Can't think of nobody no more marginalized in America than the American Indian. Well, I'm gonna get to the Nation of Islam in a minute because they don't believe in marginalization at all.
Right.
But the American Indian, we ride in things right now that are named after American Indians, but you ain't seen a Cherokee.
See.
You know what I'm saying? You know, they have a Tahoe. That's an Indian word, right? But you don't know where Tahoe is, right? You know, so this is what we talk about. If you're marginalized in America, the next step beyond marginalization is extinction. That's it. Got it? Marginalized, next step, extinction. Once you're marginalized, that means they don't need you. And the next thing it is, it's like you're at your house. You put something on the shelf, you say, I don't need that. It's marginalized.
Yeah.
Come back 6 weeks later, so what do you do with it? Still on the shelf?
Yeah.
Throw it away. So that's what we got going on.
That's right.
So we did a marginalization. The Nation of Islam came in here rolling six deep. Came in, booted, suited, all business. That's what we had on there. Nation of Islam wrote that down in a report as well. We talked about the criminalization, if you will, of being a Muslim in the United States. We had the clock boy come in here. We had him come in here. You know, we had him come up in here. Political wise, there hasn't been a person probably that has been running for office that hasn't been through. We don't want to name all the names because if we name all the names, we'll leave somebody off and our opponent starts saying, how come you mentioned it? They'll be demanding equal time. We don't need all that. But you know, but let's to be said that if you're a Democrat or you're Republican, we want you to use this as a platform. And we want everyone to hear because, well, you know, on this telephone that you got going on right now, people are looking in through Facebook. And this is one of the things we talked about, that through social media, most people get their news through social media now, through Twitter, through Facebook Live. That they have even quoted this show in trials, in jury trials. It's been 2 jury trials that this show was quoted on. And there's also been an instance in which there had been a gentleman that was going out threatening the judge. And he threatened the judge, and they brought this show up, that the judge had been on this show. So this show is on the radar, but it's on the radar because of you. And when we come back, we will go ahead and talk to Jose Fain, and we will also talk to the president. Yes. No, not that one. I know you just left town.
You gotta say the president of what?
Yeah, I know. I said the president. And I started seeing people up. Let me check and see what Big Mama doing. Enough of that. So no, I didn't, not that one.
Not that one.
Not that one. The president of the Mesquite NAACP. And we only play our local music here on the Commish Radio Show because we don't want to be booted and scooted off of Facebook Live. So therefore, I don't know, Strip, who you got coming up?
I was gonna play some Long Road from Faz and Nation.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about because it's been a long road.
Hey.
A long road.
Long
road from William Brown Miller Elementary, 1967.
Good God Almighty.
To right here at SMU, Doctoral Liberal Studies at SMU 2018. It's been a long road. All right, give us a long road.
Now you gon' forever know. Now we gon' forever glow. Y'all know. Life ain't been easy. The struggle believing. When time was hard, I played my cards.
So we're gonna let you guys go in a minute. We're gonna hit the ground up. Hopefully we can get past all this traffic and it's gonna be about 110. We're gonna play this music right now, Long Road. Yeah, studying up all night long. Long Road.
Paid up.
See, y'all thought I was gonna cut one, but I'm not gonna cut one now. I want y'all to join me tonight at Jim Austin Event Center with the Mighty Creators. Well, I'll be emceeing that event. And I understand they're gonna let me sing this time. Yeah, they're gonna let me sing. They let me sing the last time. Said something about they ran out of time. All right, cut me, man.